What's going on? It is MAJINKONEKO. Hopefully you're having a good day. So right now I'm gonna show you, in my opinion, what I feel like is the best, not the best, or in my opinion, best. Guns for Warzone, and then even I haven't got to play too much Warzone, but obviously you're gonna see like metas, everything what people are using, whatever. But at the end of the day, really, it's whatever the hell you want to use. So if you don't want to use any of these, don't use them. But some of these are stuff you're gonna see and stuff like that. But I do think that these are very viable or reliable choices, and most of them, besides like one, my sniper, is guns from Modern Warfare 3. Because in my opinion, I don't want to use Modern Warfare 2 guns because I had a whole year of using Modern Warfare 2 guns. So our first loadout, I don't mind the names I have for my guns either. Is we have the Golden Heat, which it was the Blue Heat. I just got the Golden Enigma from Zombies because that's where I'm gonna get my camos from, is the Zombies. And then we have the MCPR. So actually, we have the SVA 545, and so I actually changed a couple things from whenever I said something last time. So you have the STV Precision Barrel, and you have the Seiken Tread 40 muzzle. So with this, it's gonna give you, uh, a little bit more gun control and everything. I did have a compensator. I think it was one of the Crowens or whatever, but I feel like this is better just because it gives that gun a little bit more recoil control. And you're using this because you have no sight, so you're using it as like an AR or an SMG. So you know that is, uh, in my opinion, you're gonna need that recoil control. And then you obviously have the Bruin heavy support grip. Then you have the 60 round mag, and then you have the demo 60 650 grip, which is also going to give you more recoil control. And this thing, in my opinion, hits like a truck. Even if it did, I think it did get a little bit of nerf or something like that. And then we have the MCPR 300. This is the only Modern Warfare 2 gun that you will see me ever use. We have the 19-inch silent fire barrel. And just the way I like to do it, is because if I'm using a barrel for any gun and it has a built-in silencer, I'm going to use it personally. Just even if it does take off some things from my gun, I'm going to use it personally because I can put that on there and I can add another attachment on, even if it might not be the best thing to do, but it helps in that department, in my opinion. And then you have the 300 mag explosive tip ammunition, because this allows you to one shot or at least maybe two shot. Mostly it's one shot unless it has been nerfed. And then you have the DC Far Sight 11 optic, because I do not like the MCPR's optics. Then you have the Cronin Cheetah Grip that allows you to maybe get a little bit of a ADS speed, just in case someone does roll up on you and that's what you have in your hands. And then the Cronin Smooth Bolt, which rechambering speed. And this thing hits like a truck. And also, at the end of this video, I will like showcase each gun as well. And so for this, I run the stem, the Simtex, and then my perk package is sleight of hand, double time, tempered, and high alert. That's my perk package for all of my loadouts. And then on this one, we have the Holganet and the WSPs, as I like to call it. So you have the Holger 26. This thing, you do not need a mag. If you have a mag on this thing, then just don't even use it, in my opinion. Like, if you need a mag, I mean, it's okay, but don't use it if you need mag. 60 rounds in this thing should be plenty. Reload it before it hits that last hits that 0, and you'll be fine. So you're gonna put the Ascent Lord stock. This I was going between this and the grip, but I think that the stock is way better. Obviously, you lose some movement speed and stuff like that, sprint fire speed, but you gain in recoil control and everything. And then you're gonna have the Corio Eagle's Eye, which everyone is using, but it's honestly the best optic. So, and then you're gonna have the Holger Factory Barrel, which gives you that effective damage range and some recoil control. You're gonna have the Sonic Suppressor. I did try it with the VT Spitfire Suppressor, which is the meta or suppressor everyone's using, but I do prefer the Sonic Suppressor on it, just because the damage range, and then obviously you have a little less bullet velocity and more recoil control, but even though you lose that recoil control, you get a little bit more bullet velocity, so I feel like it makes up for it. And then the Bruin heavy support grip, obviously, and then I actually keep pressing that. And then this we have the WSP9. I do, you know, it's a slower fire rate than the Swarm, but I feel like in the right hands, this thing smacks and claps. You know what I'm saying? So we have the slate reflector optic because I do not like the iron sights. I really don't like the iron sights on most of the Modern Warfare 3 guns. I think they are atrocious. Blame Infinity Ward. I'm not blaming Sledgehammer. And so on this, we're gonna have the built-in suppressor barrel. So yeah, we lose the effective damage and stuff, but we gain recoil control. And like I said earlier, I like to run any type of barrel that has a built-in suppressor just so I can add in, say I want to add in a rear grip or a stock or something to like that to my gun. Then the Bruin heavy support grip, the 50 round mag. You could go 40, you know, to maybe get a little bit of more reload quickness, but you know, 50 just in case you roll up on a couple people, you know, slap, slap, tap, tap. And then this, we're gonna have put on the flinch resistance. Some people would maybe say to use the Marauder grip, you know, so you get that more recoil control, but this thing doesn't really have any recoil. So I would say this, just you get minus 50% flinch resistance, and I feel like the Modern Warfare 3 guns have a shit ton of flinch. That's just me personally. And then I changed it up a little bit. Instead of running the stems on the rest of the loadouts, running smoke, Simtex, and then obviously my perk package. And then on this one, I was like, well, we have a little fun. Obviously, you know, the BAS-B is a meta gun, obviously. But as I found out last night when I was playing zombies, do not let this thing reach 0 on that reload, okay? Do not. You will be reloading this thing for an eternity, okay? So don't let it reach it. It still reloads pretty slow. It is a battle rifle, but don't let this thing reach 0. You're going to use the Coil Eagle's Eye 2.5. You're going to use the Bruin Venom Long Barrel. You know, you get... You could use this one. You could use the Wyvern Long Barrel and maybe gain some movement speed, but you lose movement speed with the Bruin barrel, but you gain recoil control and stuff, and that is very, it's very important. And then you're going to use the VT Spitfire suppressor, the heavy support grip, and then the 45 round mag. You could honestly, if you're good enough, which I'm not, you could just use a 20 round mag and then just put a grip on there or a stock and then just run this thing in single fire. I think it would be more reliable in single fire with just 20 rounds, but that is totally your call. I run the 45 because that thing stays in auto. And then I was like, you know what, why don't we just have some fun, you know? So right here we got the Hop and Pop. We got the Lockwood 680, which is one of the, once you get attachments, it is one of the best shotguns that I think that has been made. I don't want to say made, but like put into the game in a while. Once you get the attachments. Without the attachments, things got us dookie. But you're going to have the, excuse me. No, skin doesn't even do it. It changes that up a little bit. But this, you're going to have the point G304 that's a weird name for a laser. You're gonna have this laser. It's gonna help with the hip fire and everything like that. So sprint fire speed. So if you are run up on somebody and someone's right in your face, you just hip fire. And then you're gonna have the Longwood Defender barrel, and then you're gonna have the X10 modified choke. I like this choke just because it adds it helps that shotgun spread. And then it also gives you a little bit more effective damage range. You could, really run whatever you want. But, see, like, I would run this one, this Bryson, it helps with that shotgun spread. But you lose that effective damage range by a little bit. And just that little bit makes a difference, in my opinion. And then you run the rechambering, the heavy guard. It helps out with that, and then the express light bolt, which helps with the rechambering speed, which you very much need because this gun it's a shotgun. You're not gonna be using this thing at a distance, bro. This isn't Fortnite whenever they drop the combat shotgun the first time, you know, and you're sniping people. You ain't gonna be doing that with this. If you are, let me know what build you're running, because that'd be tight. And then smoke grenade, Simtex, and my perk package. And then for our loadout 4, right? Our loadout 4, we have. I know it got nerfed, but this gun still smacks. And like I said, I'm gonna go through all these guns right at the end of the video. So we have the DG56, which I call the Burst Beast. I actually like this camo because it looks like fire, and then with this, it's pretty cool. So you're gonna have the Coil Eagle's Eye. You're gonna have the DG 56 LS18 barrel, the VT Spitfire, the 60 round drum. You could run a 40 round drum to get some reload quickness or whatever, but this thing's a burst. You're gonna run out of ammo pretty quick, especially if you're fighting like a whole team with your squad or something. And I do not run an underbarrel in this gun. This gun does not need an underbarrel unless they end up giving this gun a hella kick or recoil. You do not need an underbarrel, and so instead you could probably go for a rear grip, you know, to maybe flinch resistance or something like that. But I run the extended. Excuse me. And you get some recoil control and sprint to fire speed. You lose some ADS speed, but you know you need that recoil control. But honestly, you don't even need that. You could probably, if you're honest, you could take that off, maybe add in a comb, or you could add in ammunition, whatever ammunition we need to use. But this thing slaps. And then obviously got the fire tamer, what I like to call it. We have the WSP Swarm, which I see a lot of people running around with. I do not like the iron sights. Like I said, I do not like iron sights on most of these guns. Now, there'll be a couple guns you see me run the iron sights that I can deal with, you know, but like this, the Swarm, the WSP9, and the Stinger, they all have the iron sights terrible, and I cannot use them. I tried, I can't. So I use the slate reflector. I use the built-in suppressor. You know, like I said, you lose effective damage range, but you gain some recoil control. And then it allows you then use the heavy burn support grip, 100 round mag. And then when that's built in, it allows me to use a grip or a stock. So in this case, I use the stock, and I gain all that recoil control on this gun, which I feel is important, especially if you're shooting about mid-range with this thing. It helps. But that's why we have the 100 round mag, just in case we miss a few shots. No, sorry. And then so on this, we actually have the flash grenade, because why not flash ourselves, you know, we end up throwing at a wall and hitting ourselves. And the Simtex, and then our perk package. And then we are on to the last loadout. It's the top 5 loadout, in my opinion. And so we have the Strike Ds and Into Your DMs, okay? So we have the Striker, just the regular Striker, not the Striker 9. I still am leveling Striker 9, so if I can, you know, see a difference between the two, I will fix it or upload it or whatever. But so we have the laser. It's for that hip fire, just in case we run up on someone and we just want to hip fire. And then we have the Striker Elite long barrel. And if this did have its built-in suppressor, I would definitely use that. But it does not. But we gain some effective damage range. And obviously, you know, the effective damage range on the Striker Recon Long Barrel is better. But, like, you know, you get all this recoil control. It's not a lot, but any recoil control you can get on any gun, even if it's the smallest, is great. And then I have the Colossal Suppressor on. You know, I could probably... you could probably swap it out for the Sonic Suppressor, get some more effective damage range and stuff like that. But I have this one on, you know, just because, you know, it's a littlest of recoil control. You know what I'm saying? And then we have the 60 round drum, because why not? And then we have the Lockman series stock. And with this stock, you get all of the recoil control. But the reason I run this stock is because basically, you know, like when you purchase holding a gun, you got like all of that, you know, you're holding it on this, and like you don't need a rear grip with this stock. And so when they're holding it or whatever, you know, however you hold your gun or whatever, but like the stock's here and then the rear grip's right here, and then, you know, so I don't feel like you need an underbarrel. You're gonna be shooting this about mid-ish to short range, maybe long range, but you know, let's not stretch too far. I can't shoot that good. And then we have into your DMs. I see a lot of people using the MTZ interceptor, but while earlier when I was testing or whatever, I know it got a nerf. It could have got another slight nerf, but like it's because it was like a 2-tap, but now it's like anywhere from 2 to 4 depending on where you hit. So in my opinion, once I finally got attachments for this, I started enjoying this gun. We have into your DMs, we have the DM56, and I use the heat ones, you know, because this battle pass, you know, there's heat things, so it looks really cool, like when the gun heats up or whatever, like it is right now. And so if I'm using a gun that has this, I'm gonna put that variation on there because it looks tight. So we have the Corios Eagle's Eye 2.5. We have the Prime Lord Heavy Barrel. We have the VT Suppressor Burn Heavy Sport Grip, and then we have the Lockman Extra Pouch, which gives a little bit of recoil control. And this one has the more recoil control. This one, you could use this one if you wanted a little bit of hip fire speed and not lose a little bit of mobility. But this, I said hip fire speed, I meant hip fire spread. But I like this one. And obviously, see, this is basically a built-in rear grip, the way the gun is. So you can't, there's no option for a rear grip right here. But this thing is really good, and I do very much enjoy it. And then smoke, Simtex, and my perk package. So now let's go to the firing range. I'm gonna, hopefully I don't botch this, but we're gonna go through each of these guns. And this is one of my favorite guns, just because, like, for the majority, you're gonna use this as like a mid AR to close SMG, basically. And 60 rounds, you could take out 3 people. But like I said, that's why we paired it up with this sniper, you know. Make sure, yeah, 3 plates are on. And then, you know, we put the explosives on there. I think there is only 2 snipers. One of them is a Modern Warfare 3 sniper. I cannot remember which one. And this one, with the explosive rounds, I've tested the explosive rounds on some of the other Modern Warfare 2 snipers. And so far, all I've seen is this one, this sniper, and the it's another Modern Warfare 3 sniper, or it's a Modern Warfare 3 sniper that one shot. And they don't need explosive rounds, I don't think. And then this one, we have the Holger 26. This is our Loadout 2. See, like once it gets, like, you know, it's an LMG, but, and you know, you're gonna be able to use this thing at range, you know, but like once it starts getting too far, you're gonna notice that horizontal recoil. But if you can't control it, you will absolutely fry someone. And like, I still got 7 bullets to spare out of a 60 round mag. So, and then we have our WSP9, and this is my build for it. You can really use whatever build you want. If you don't need a optic, I would say, I don't necessarily think you need a laser. I would probably say go for a rear grip to add on or whatever. Just my opinion. And like, it has little to and you're not going to be using this thing at range. You're just not. Unless you're just way better than me. You're not going to be using this thing at range. But you're going to, but about mid to close range, you know. And then if they're like up in your face or whatever, like, I can't do it. If I go over here, maybe. But like, you know, if they're like in your face or whatever, you know, you give a jump, or, you know, you drop shot, you know, you're going to give them a little taste of medicine. So, and then say you don't like the optic, you could honestly take off the optic. You could take off the optic, change the barrel, and then put a suppressor on it that you want. But that's just the way I like to run it, just because I think it's how do I say it, more reliable. Not reliable, that's not what I meant. And so actually, I was testing this thing out. I do have my zombies build for it is a little different, and I could show that in a different video. But if you really want to, you can put this thing in. You can put this thing in single fire, and definitely get a lot more recoil control. But when my build in zombies, I do not have a barrel on it. I replaced the barrel with a rear grip, I believe, or it's the stock. But I would say if you're shooting at long range with this, unless you know you can because it does have some kick, you know, toward the further out they are. But if you can control that recoil, I would say leave it in auto, but or do like some burst fires. But if they're in like really long range, put this thing in single fire and just shred. And obviously, if you're hitting headshots, they're gonna go down a lot faster. And then we have it paired up with the shotgun. I won't be able to do too much with the shotgun, you know, at this range, but just trust me, because yeah, it's about, if you're really up close, if I was closer, that would have been probably been a 2-tap, or maybe, depending on their plates, maybe a 1, but you know, you're probably gonna use a shotgun, maybe about 5 meters, maybe about, yeah, I'd say about 5, anywhere from like 10 to 5 meters. This is 10, obviously, but like, but you know, it's like, have fun, why not, you know? And then we have the burst beast, we have the DG 56. Like I said, this thing did get a nerf, but like, still have 27 rounds on all those people. If you're hitting headshots, you're going to cripple, you will cripple a team using this thing. And if you really want, at the end of the day, you can always put it in semi and just, you could almost, if you have a good enough trigger finger, you could basically run this thing as a automatic gun if you have that good enough of a trigger finger. And then we're gonna we pair this up with the swarm, because why not? And like I said, like me, look at that recoil. I tried my hardest to control that recoil, but just me personally, up close to mid-range, you know, this is where this gun is gonna shine, and you're gonna knock people on their ass. I guess you could put this thing in single fire, just tap, 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 tap. We're gonna get him. There we go. So we move on to Loadout. Oh, I meant Loadout 5. And so this one, we have the striker, just a regular striker. The iron sights are, I do not prefer the iron sights, but they're not terrible, you know. Like I said, you could honestly take the laser off. You could take the laser off and put like a slate reflector or something on there if you did not like the optics or the iron sights. But it's not, even without an underbarrel, this thing is not terrible. And it's just because I know that the striker is a gun that people are using and everything in Warzone at the same time, but like, I just feel like the striker is very reliable. And then we pair it up with our the DM56. And just me personally, like, I only have the 20 round mag on here, but I could probably get rid of like my my stock or whatever, or no, my comb. I could get rid of my comb and I could put a bigger mag on there, you know, if I was feeling frosty. But I prefer the DM over the interceptor, just because to me, like, the interceptor does hit harder at the end of the day, but you know, I just, ever since like I used it, like, I do not like the way it fires, and that's just my opinion, you know. And honestly, with this, since it is a marksman, you could put a bigger optic on there so you could like see further or whatever. You could probably honestly put a sniper optic on it if you wanted to, since it's single fire. But look at that heat. Don't use this thing in tech stance. It's terrible. But yeah, at the end of the day, you know, it's not going to hit as hard as the interceptor or maybe some of the other ones, but it's just a fun gun to use, and it's like, why not, you know? So that has been my top 5 loadouts. And if you liked the video, make sure that you like, subscribe, let me know what you think. And if you want to see like some of my best ideas or guns for zombies, let me know, and I'll catch you on the next one.